So
What's up, y'all? Malcolm Breed here from How to Barbecue Right. When you're in the Chattanooga area and you're looking for barbecue supplies, you got to check out my buddy Steve's Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply. And Steve and his staff have all your outdoor grilling, smoking, live fire, cooking supplies. You can find my Killer Hog stuff there, plus a ton of other cool stuff. So y'all stop in and see Steve. Tell him Malcolm sent you.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, Monday night, the catch-up show, Owl's Nest Barbecue. I'm Steve. That's Pete up there. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, Steve?
Welcome home.
Glad to be home.
Had a lot of golf this weekend.
I played a lot of golf, no doubt.
You know, I'm beginning to think. Hello, Perry. Thanks for joining us. I'm beginning to think you're liking golf more than barbecue, Pete.
I tell you what, I'm playing a lot.
You're playing a lot.
I'm playing a lot.
But you're still cooking a lot.
Yes, I am.
You're still down at the store, so that must mean, folks, we still got him. We've still got him in our clutches.
My two favorite things to do: barbecue and golf.
That is fun, isn't it?
It is.
That's a good combination right there. That's a good combination. Hey, appreciate you watching. Appreciate you listening. This is where we all get together and we talk about what happened last week, and we kind of bring you up to speed, and we tell you what to expect from the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store. You can listen to the show anytime you want in a podcast form. Just go to Spotify and listen. Where you can follow us on Facebook and on Instagram, and go to our YouTube channel. Peter, I don't know if you've seen our YouTube channel. He's picked up a whole lot of subscribers, and we appreciate everybody subscribing and jumping in there to support us. We really appreciate that. And you can catch all of these videos that we do on YouTube if you want to go back and reference them, like the now famous Jason Penley chicken recipe that's out there. So, he didn't realize he was going to be giving everybody the secret message, did he?
Hey, I will tell you the intro, Steve. I really loved that Malcolm on there, and I thought that was pretty nice.
Malcolm did he did a solid for us.
Yeah, that was real nice.
I think we got more stuff with Malcolm to come. Hey, we're brought to you by Pit Barrel Cookers. America's favorite drum cooker is Pit Barrel Cooker. We're also brought to you by the entire lineup of Green Mountain Grills, all in stock, plus accessories at Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply right here in Ooltewah. We're brought to you by the Blackstone Griddle, now in stock. And Pete, you saw the big stack of stuff we've got.
Yep.
We got the big stack. We got everything in, all kinds of griddles, all kinds of accessories, the cleaning kits, anything for your griddle that you need. We've got it at Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply. The new to us, the Blackstone Griddle. We're now the dealers here in the Ooltewah area. And we're brought to you by the best kettle grill on the planet. The
Napoleon, Steve.
The Napoleon kettle grill. I get to thinking, and I got too much going on in my brain. And we got the Napoleon kettle in stock, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that as we go on this Father's Day. This is Father's Day show. So if you've got anything to suggest to give your dad, or if you've got anything to suggest to the people that love you that you want, this would be a good place to do it. But before we start, Pete, I tell you what,
And now, Steve's hot take.
you know, I was reading my Facebook thread today, and I came across a post that was made by the Burnt Bean Company down in Texas. I don't know if you follow it or not. Texas is a very unique barbecue community, so to speak. Only state in the union where they've got a full-time barbecue editor, and that's Daniel Vaughn, and he works for Texas Monthly. And Daniel does a great job of covering barbecue in Texas. And as of last year, he's expanded his horizons by going out into the United States, even consolidating a list of the best Texas barbecue restaurants that aren't in the state of Texas. Very, very interesting stuff.
Bet.
Go ahead.
No, I said I bet.
Yeah.
There are a lot of places, and I've seen some that weren't in Texas, but they're serve the best. They claim the best Texas barbecue in their state.
Absolutely. So the one post from on the Burnt Bean Facebook page, it said that it was from March, or I think it's from May the 28th. It said they were acknowledging that they were so happy and proud to be ranked the #1 barbecue joint by Daniel Vaughn and the staff at Texas Monthly, whoever he uses in the state of Texas. And in the state of Texas, that's a big deal. It's a great big deal, and it should be a big deal. But then the writer went on to say, which basically means in the entire universe. And that's when I call timeout.
Yeah.
Timeout, buddy.
Throw the flag.
Yeah. It's not the universe, it's Texas. And if you don't think that Peg Leg Porkers over in Nashville is as good as the Burnt Bean Company in Texas, you've got another thing coming. If you don't think Couch's Barbecue here in Ottawa is as good as Burnt Bean Barbecue, you've got another thing coming. It's great to celebrate your #1, but show a little humility. It doesn't mean, and Daniel Vaughn never said that. It doesn't mean we're ranking you #1, which basically means it's the best in the universe. He never said that. You said that, and it's not true.
What he really was doing was complimenting them, and it turned it into I'm the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Show a little humility. That's all. I mean, I'm glad you got it. And I know Ernest Cervantes. I don't know him personally. I've met him. He is a wonderful human being. I dare to say he didn't make that post. He's a very humble guy, a very God-fearing man. And I don't think Ernest would say something like that. But whoever did say that, just take a step back and say, I enjoy being the #1 Texas barbecue joint. I know I certainly would. If Al's Nest Barbecue was in Austin, Texas, and they had a line wrapped around the block like Aaron Franklin does, I'd be thrilled to death too. But it's not the best in the universe. It's the best where you're at. And that's my hot take.
Yeah, I'm with you. It makes a lot of sense. And I think sometimes that happens in a lot of other places, in a lot of other restaurants, different foods, different things, that people do the same thing, Steve.
Yeah, all right, we're going to get back. We're going to start talking about the things that you want for Father's Day, the things that you want to give for Father's Day. And we'll be right back after this short break. So stay with us.
This is Ned. He is the proud owner of a pit barrel cooker. Ned, tell us what you like about it the most.
It's an excitement every time you use it.
Excitement?
Excitement. It's every time. I put a roast in there. My wife loved it. 3.5 pounds. Let's see, I've had steaks in it, cooked chicken in it, hang the birds in there, hung steaks, hot dogs, put some seasoning on them, and just hung them up with your little hangers here.
Yeah.
And just hung them up in there for about, a half hour, 45 minutes. Came out nice and juicy and tender.
Pit barrel cooker. You don't think that'd make a great gift? Let's start that off, Pete.
And Steve, at a very good price. A very good price.
Absolutely. Jeff Maxwell checking in with us. I think Jeff's up in Chicago still. Perry says, and drink some good bourbon.
Of course, Perry.
Perry,
I'm with you, buddy.
I think Perry always says that, and drink some good bourbon.
Well, that's because he and I like good bourbon.
Perry, how you doing? I'm drinking some good bourbon. Perry, what's going on today? I'm drinking some good bourbon. What you doing this weekend, Perry? I'm drinking some good bourbon. We may have a problem. Steve Davidson. Hello, Steve and Pete. Hello, Steve Davidson.
Hey, Steve.
Good to hear from you. We didn't have many pictures this week. Steve didn't check in. Perry didn't check in. I guess everybody was just too busy. But Pete, I'm going to tell you something. I wish you had been here for Saturday at the store. We've teamed up with Coldplay Barbecue.
Yep.
David Roberts, and David and I said, why that phone won't go down. David and I have teamed up, and we're going to be doing barbecue on Saturday, Fridays and Saturdays at the store. We're doing hot dogs Tuesday through Saturday. The big 1/4 pound juicy hot dogs on the grill. We decided to go 100% on the grill. And Pete, you can tell them how good those were.
Oh, they were fantastic.
A lot better than
We did a trial run on them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you remember?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Before I
Remember,
left.
we were doing a comparison, and I used to put them in dirty water and clean them and serve them rather. And but we decided to go to the grill with it, and boy, am I glad we did. Fantastic.
And it is the best hot dog. I'm going to tell you, those 1/4 pound dogs are amazing.
Yeah, they're good, juicy, and got full of flavor. But we do those every day, Tuesday through Saturday. And on Fridays, we're going to do pulled pork. We did that last Friday. And on Saturdays, we're going to do pulled pork and brisket. And Pete, I'm going to tell you something. The reaction and the demand for David's brisket was incredible on Saturday.
Great.
We had a line going out the door. David made 2 of the best briskets. And they're big. I think he did about 40 pounds of brisket and 2 briskets. I know. And they were fantastic. Matter of fact, I got you a little video here. Here's David throwing it up on the cutting board. This is in the Owl's Nest Barbecue Research and Development room where we serve. There he is going right into the middle. I never do that. David wanted to do that. I never do that. Look at that. Look at that.
Well, some people do it.
Everybody
they'll
does it,
cut,
yeah.
or they'll cut the top piece off, or
Yeah. But here he goes. He's trimmed. That's the flat that he's trimming now. Look at that smoke ring, Pete.
Yeah.
If I can get the camera back on, look at that. That bark was just beautiful.
Looks like a good trim job on it too before you cooked it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. David knows what he's doing. And look at that. I had to throw it down. It was so hot. But you see how that thing just hung?
Yeah.
Watch this. He's going to pull it like ribbon it.
I just like the glare. You get a glare of the fat that's in there.
Mhm.
A little,
There's
the
David.
juice. Yeah.
There's David Roberts, pitmaster of Coldplay Barbecue. There's that brisket that we served. I'm going to tell you something, Pete. That brisket, I'm going to tell you something. That brisket, I promise you, it was every bit as good as that one we get from Franklin Barbecue shipped up here a couple years ago. I guarantee you. Guarantee you.
It looks good.
It was good. And what we're doing this week for Father's Day, we're taking and I wish you were going to be here, Pete. You really get into this. You're gonna have to stop traveling so much.
I'm only going for a couple of weeks now this time.
I know.
Home 2 days and gone again.
What we're gonna do is we're taking pre-orders this week for brisket. So if you want to get, say, a couple pounds for your get together, for your Father's Day get together on Sunday, all you got to do is text me, go to the Facebook or my Facebook page or the Owl's Nest Barbecue Facebook page. You can go to the Steve Ray Facebook page and you can see it. It's open to everybody. Or the Owl's Nest Barbecue Facebook page. It's open to everybody. And you can either text me or you can put it in the reply on the comments. Steve, I want to order a pound. Bridget Davis and Lisa Fryer have already ordered a pound each. And you can order a full brisket if you want to. The price of a full brisket will be dependent on how big the brisket that you want, how big we can get our hands on. Normally, I'm going to say anywhere between $175 to $185. It's going to be right in there if you want a whole brisket, and that will be wrapped in butcher paper and in foil, where you can heat it up easily. And the way we do it is, the way we wrap it is, and when we get it off the smoker, if you want one, we'll wrap it up for you, put it in the refrigerator. You can pick it up Saturday between 10 and 2 at our store at the Midnight Oil Owl's Nest Barbecue store right there in Ooltewah on Lee Highway. and we'll show you how to warm it up.
A little direction. You used to give a little sheet with some
We're
directions.
going to do that,
Yeah.
and it will be just as good as when you if we'd have pulled it right off the smoker and given it to you. It'll be rested and it'll be ready to go. Let's see. Perry's back in. Had to dodge the storms over the weekend. Boy, you did, Perry. I didn't tell you, boy. Sarah and Sam got drilled. My daughter and husband.
really?
Yeah, they've got a big old tree, and it just came crashing down on their house. It was, Brandon. It was a good looking brisket. Billy Holland checking in. Good evening, everybody. And George Gibson checking in. Hope everybody's doing good. George,
Hey,
we're doing
George.
great. We hope you're doing good. I know we don't see you that much anymore because you are part owner of Iron Forged Beer. So if anybody is out as in the Chattanooga area, ask your bartender for an Iron Forged beer. And if they don't have it, say, man, I wish you'd buy it. Because Pete, that's good beer.
It is. It is.
They were one of the sponsors of the rib contest.
Yeah. And then they do sell it right there behind your place there at the restaurant there. What is it?
Local goat.
Local Goat. Yeah. They carry, I think, 2 or 3 of the beers there on tap.
So George, we appreciate you checking in. Pete, let's talk about Father's Day a little bit. I want to ask you, where are my notes here? What is your favorite memory? Your dad is deceased. Mine is also. My dad died in 2009.
Mine 2015.
Yeah. What is your favorite memory of you being with your dad?
So Steve, my whole life, my dad was a big hunter and fisherman, and we hunted and fished most all. As a matter of fact, he climbed a tree stand till he was 82 years old, and he had a stroke then. But my favorite memories are us hunting and fishing together, and he started that with us and my brother and them, and we've carried it on and been doing it. So that's where I'm headed. Wednesday is to my 2-week to Canada to fish and carry it on. But he was a good sportsman, loved to take his boys out. He had 3 boys. He loved to take the boys out and hunt and fish. And so all of us have great memories of our hunting and fishing with him and spending that quality time like that with him.
So he was also in the service, wasn't he?
He was a World War II vet.
Yeah. Wow. Greatest generation. My dad was a shoe salesman, traveling shoe salesman. And he wasn't into sports much. I played sports. But in our neighborhood, that's all there was to do. My buddies, now we got together, we played baseball and football, and we played something every day that we were, not in school or after school, whatever. But I remember one time for my birthday, I wanted to go to Parker Field. That was the minor league baseball field in Richmond, Virginia, where I grew up. And they were the farm league of the Atlanta Braves. Ralph Garr, Cecil Upshaw. Gosh, I can't remember the others, but in that generation,
Right,
for
right.
all you old Braves fans like me, that's the guys that came through Richmond. And we were there at the game, and I know looking back, that was probably the last place in the world my dad wanted to be, because he just wasn't a baseball fan. But he was there because I was a baseball fan, and he took
Yep.
me, and it was a father-son sort of deal. And they were giving away a baseball, a signed Richmond Braves baseball, and they gave it away in the 7th inning. So we waited, we had our tickets there, and we waited, and they pulled the tickets, and of course I didn't win. And I was 8 years old. I was devastated. I mean, I said, man, I wanted that
Just
baseball.
knew I wanted it.
It was my birthday, that was a big deal, but I didn't win. So we went home, I went to bed, and all of a sudden I feel this tap on my shoulder, and it's my dad, and he's holding up this baseball. I get chill bumps every time I talk about this. And it was a replica signed baseball of the 62 New York Yankees.
Wow.
So, and I've still got that ball to this day.
Giving me chill bumps.
Yeah, it wasn't real. He had got it at a sales meeting or something and put it away and was probably going to give it to me at some time in my life. And he probably thought, well, this is as good a time as any.
Yeah.
So that night I got my baseball. And, when I think back of all the things that I did with my dad, when I think about it, not one of them involved anything that was costly.
Yeah.
Did you feel that way?
Oh yeah, absolutely. For us, I mean, everything was the same way. As a matter of fact, I used to tell people we were pretty poor. but I never knew we were poor. I mean, because everything we did and the things that we did, and I got a pair of tennis shoes one time a year, Steve. And when I got them, it was Chuck Taylors, a pair of Chuck Taylors, and they were wore out. It was ready for another pair, you know. But honestly, I feel the same way.
I remember going to the car wash with him on Saturdays when he'd come home off the road, and he'd organize all of his samples, his shoe samples. And we'd go to the car wash, and he'd get the car washed and filled up with gas. I mean, in those days, when you got your car washed, they filled you up with gas too. And it's just little things like that I remember when I look back on it. But nothing cost any money. I remember going on vacation with him. And I remember one time we went on vacation. My dad liked to gamble. That was his sport. His dad liked to gamble.
With him.
His dad liked to gamble. And my dad liked to play cards. And I'm Pete, I'm going to tell you right now, if you and I played cards, you'd have to show me how. He never showed me how. I never had one interest in playing poker or playing cards. But I remember he got into a card game on vacation one year. We went to Daytona Beach, two summers in a row for 2 weeks, longest vacations he ever took, longest vacation I ever went on. We went away for 2 weeks of Daytona Beach. The second one, we stayed at the real nice hotel, the King's Lodge on Daytona Beach. I don't know if it's still there or not.
I don't know.
But back in 1968, it was a nice place, let me tell you. And had a high dive and everything. But I remember we had to leave a day early. And I remember my mom being pretty mad. And it wasn't until years later that I found out that Dad lost the rent for the last day of the room in the poker game. So we had to clear out of the King's Lodge and get back to Richmond.
Oh,
So of all, everybody has their I guess demons to carry, and that was my dad's. He liked to gamble, but it wasn't a problem gambling. We never went homeless or anything like that. But I just thought that was kind of funny that when I found out years later, hey Mom, how come you were so mad because we had to go home because your father lost the last night's rent at the King's Lodge. We had to get out of there. But that's kind of one of those funny stories you hear about, years later. Randy Barber checking in. Hey, Randy, he said, I lost my dad in 2006. And I miss him every day.
Yeah.
I'm with you, buddy.
I'm with you. Yeah.
I'm with you. I never, I used to call my dad on the way home when I was driving home all the time on cell phone, check in on him. And, it's one of those things, I remember after he passed away a couple of times, I found myself reaching for the phone, to give him a call. But, those are good memories, Pete.
Yeah.
And I know, and you going hunting with your dad, and my dad didn't hunt. My dad wasn't in the service. He said he had a very rare skin disease. And I said, what was that? He goes, bullets go right through it. Because he was, he was at that age where there was really nothing going on. He was, it was right between the Vietnam War and Korea when he would have been of age. He was drafted, but he was blind in one eye, so he gave him 4F. And he was blind all his life in his right eye. And he used to have one of those prosthetics.
Yeah.
And he'd pop it out and show it to kids. It just, I had the coolest dad in the neighborhood, and he'd pop that eye out and he'd show the kids. He's kind of a funny guy too.
I thought she was going to tell me he lost it gambling.
He might have. Or he may have used it to pay a gambling debt. My one-eyed dad. But he was a hoot. He was a hoot. And I'm with you, Randy. I miss him every day. What can you remember that, Pete? I thought the best present I ever gave my dad for Father's Day. And nothing really stands out that I gave him that he ever, that he kept. Do you?
I do remember. And I really never thought it would be that he would have loved it as much as he did. But in school, I was in woodworking, and I made him a gun rack. And that gun rack, he had that hanging in his house everywhere. And up until he died, he had that gun rack. He loved that gun rack. And I made it in 6th or 7th grade. And he loved that gun rack. He couldn't stop talking. And, he reminded me of that up until his 80s about that gun rack.
I like that gun rack.
He liked that gun rack.
I'll talk about my present I gave my dad one time right after this short break. Stay with us. Hey, this is Steve Ray at Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply here in Ooltewah, Tennessee. The Green Mountain Grill Smoker Grill, the best pellet cooker on the market. Come on over, let me show you. A big hopper. It'll hold 18 to 20 pounds of pellets. Thick gauged metal. It won't rust. It will last you for years and years and years. The shelf, right up in the front. Handy. The Green Mountain Grill pellet smokers. The best grill for your money right here at Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply in Ooltewah. Green Mountain Grill. Now, I'm serious talk, folks. Beat, if you're a dad looking for a grill, how would you feel if you got up Sunday with a Green Mountain Grill?
Oh,
How'd you feel when you got yours?
it was amazing. I got mine was a Father's
Yeah,
Day.
it was. That's right.
Yeah,
It was.
it was. So I mean, I loved it. But you know, back in the day, we didn't even have a grill. We dug a pit and stuff when my dad, you know, but he would have loved it. I guarantee you. My dad, you know, Steve, I guess if you'd have given him a rock, he'd have been happy. You know, that's the kind of person he was. He'd rather see you happy than himself.
Yeah, our dads must have been well like. I remember I got my dad a plunge saw one Father's Day and gave it to him. I saw it on TV. It's one of those roto zips.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
got one.
Yeah, I've got one. I got two now. And I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I got the second one. I got him a roto zip, and I didn't think much about it. I gave it to him, and he goes, "Oh, that's nice, son. Thanks a lot." And because he had a lot of tools, and you know, it's just something Dad didn't get excited about a lot. And so one time, this is months later, I called up there one time, and I said, "Hey, Mom, let me talk to Dad." I talked to Mom too, but I said, "Hey, let me talk to Dad." She goes, "Well, be careful. He's not feeling real well." I said, "What happened?" She goes, "Hey, we just got back from the emergency room. He cut his hand pretty bad on a roto zip or on a saw." She said, "On a saw." He's got 18 stitches in his hand. I went, 18? My God, what happened? So I'll let him tell you. And so he was telling me, you know, he was using this saw, and you know, he got away from him and he got into his hand and blah blah blah. And I said, "Man, Dad, that's awful." But so, you know, they lived in Knoxville and I lived down here, so I didn't get to go see him that often. So years and years later, after I gave him that saw, after he died, I was cleaning out his toolbox. He had a tool, or not a tool, but a workshop. He had built a workshop when he retired. And I was going through all his stuff, and Dad being a shoe salesman, he stored all of his things in shoe boxes. He collected shoe boxes. We had 1 million shoe boxes when I was growing up. And he'd put things in a shoe box and stack them because they stack real good. And I'm looking at all this stuff, and I'm looking in shoe boxes, and I come across one. It had a sign on the front of it he had made. He goes, "Warning, this is the most dangerous saw in the workshop." And I opened up that box, and don't you know what it was?
That roto
zip. That's the one he cut his hand on. He wouldn't dare tell me that that's the one he cut his hand on.
Yeah.
But that's what he gave. He did that for me. I just know he did. That he knew that someday I'd find that thing. And he got a little chuckle out of it. I'm sure he did. And I've got that thing in a tool in a shoe box, that very shoe box. I've got it downstairs in the garage. And I just thought that was really funny that he had the most dangerous saw in the whole workshop is a little saw about this big with a little drill bit.
I bet you everybody out there, Steve, has a great story about them and their father and different things or times or something, you know, that one moment that, you know, really meant a lot.
Yeah. Billy Holland checking in says, "Good memory, Steve." It sure is, Billy. Perry. Now Perry and I knew Perry's dad. Perry said Friday will be 6 years losing his dad. And it does make Father's Day a little tough. But Perry's the dad, and that kind of eases the pain, Perry. Now, I'll tell you, Perry's dad was, Perry kind of, when I opened up, Perry, I knew Perry pretty much almost from day one. He worked at the station with me for about 2 or 3 years. And his mom and dad, of course, came in and his family. So I've known Perry and his family. We're more than, I don't know what to say. How do you say, Pete? Like
Maybe more than
we're more than friends. we kind of grew up together. His dad would come in the station and hang out, and his mom was great too. So Perry, I know you miss your dad because he was. I tell you what, he was one of the finest fellows I ever met, and I was lucky to know him, and you're lucky to have him. So good for you, Perry. I know that. I know it makes it tough, but be like us. We just think of the good stuff.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all you can think about. Let's see. I was looking ahead this Pete, some pretty good ideas for Father's Day. Here they are right here. How about that little jewel right there? A little 2-burner Blackstone griddle. We've got those in stock now. It's a little portable one. You see where it hooks up to that little green propane tank?
Yep.
That thing is handy.
That would be great for camping, taking with you in your motorhome or in your trailer, or even just, I don't do it that much. I want to use it out there in my backyard on a picnic table.
Yeah. Josh, thank you for watching. Josh Howe's watching with us, and Cliff Dockery is tuned in. Cliff, we appreciate that very much. If you've got 2 people in your family, just 3 maybe, that's the biggest size griddle you need.
Yeah.
If you want to cook on a griddle outside, that's the perfect size. Easy cleanup. It's got the hood with it, so you can clean it up, oil it down, bring the hood down. You don't have to worry about rusting.
That would look really good in Jeff Maxwell's motorhome, just so you know.
It would.
Don't you think so?
Yeah. Now, if you love your dad just a little bit more, you can get him to stand up.
And you go.
There's a 2-burner stand up. No, we've got the 3 burners, and we've got that 2-burner too. That's a really, really good gift. A Blackstone griddle. Not hard to use. You don't have to learn how to use it. Everybody knows how to use a griddle.
If you want to know, just ask Jason.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Jason, he's a griddler. I tell you, Josh's brother is watching. His brother is a griddler too. Or you can stop by Saturday or Friday.
Look at that slaw relish.
Get him a slaw dog at the Al's Barbecue Supply Store there in Ooltewah. I'll be whipping out hot dogs all week starting tomorrow.
I'm glad there's no ketchup on there. Don't put ketchup on a hot dog.
I don't mind people. People, what surprises me? How many people put mayonnaise on a hot dog?
I have seen it. I'm not one of them, but I've seen it.
But a couple years ago, when I told my little sister that I was making hot dogs, she and her husband drove down from Union County. That's where they live, up in Andersonville. And it's one of those places they'll never find us up here,
Yeah.
And they drove down, and my sister ordered a hot dog, and she got mayonnaise on it. And I had no idea. And because there's a lot of people.
Did you ask her, are you sure you're from our family?
Yeah, I said, I didn't know you ate mayonnaise. Because I love mayonnaise on hot dogs. Because we didn't eat a lot of hot dogs. I ate a lot of Spam, but didn't eat a hot dog. If your dad's looking for a new grill, there's a Green Mountain Grill Peak grill.
Yep.
Right there. That'd be a great Father's Day. We've got 5 of those left in stock, and those are easy to cook on. We didn't mind. The one we have outside, Pete, is a Green Mountain Grill Edge, or Peak rather, and it's been out there for years, and it fires up every time.
Stays right out there under the awning,
under the canopy there. Yeah. And if you really, now this is something that until I bought some that I would have wanted.
Yeah, the Napoleon.
A kettle grill.
You said you never owned a kettle grill.
Never cooked on one until just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I cannot believe how efficient that thing is.
And I'm going to tell you what I like about that is the grate in there that's inside it. It also opens up, the half of it opens up, but it's built very solid. And then I love the ash pan on the bottom. That's what's nice. You can just rake all the ashes out of it right into the pan, turn the pan, pull it down, get rid of it, and put it right back up.
It goes right into that hopper. Matter of fact, let's just do this right now. Where is that right there? Pete, there's just something about charcoal. You know it?
Hey, nothing like the smell, the taste, the flavor. Everything about charcoal is amazing. I actually think that's where we're back to, Steve. People are starting to enjoy charcoal again like they used to, and it's a craze.
It's such a good smell. The flavor can't be beat.
By the way, you know what I love about this? Is the handle. This one pulls to the side. And I love that about that.
Yeah, it gets out of the way, and you don't have to reach over the flame.
Right.
The Napoleon kettle, you need to get one.
That Napoleon kettle, we've had more fun with that thing in just a few weeks that we've had it. You know what, Pete?
Ask Billy Holland. He's got one.
Yeah, Billy loves his. Hey, Bobby Fisher, thanks for watching. Bobby's one of our best hot dog customers, him and his wife. And Russ Moore tuning in. Russ is one of the best contest cookers in the Chattanooga area. He's a sleeper, I call him. He's always, you don't hear much about him until he shows up and just wins. So thanks for tuning in, Russ. I appreciate that very much. But that kettle grill is the grate on it is so heavy. It's not like these cheap ones, these little stainless steel grate. This thing is iron. It's metal, a big old heavy iron grate. And the way you adjust the temperatures on this, it's got a handle at the top and a handle on the bottom. So you don't really have to touch the like on a Weber, you got that little circle thing you've got to touch.
Right at the top.
That's hot.
Right there.
Yeah. You don't have to do that with Napoleon. It is really, really slick. And I believe people would really like that. And that is at $379. That's pretty cheap for a grill. Let's see here.
For a grill built like that and it'll last as long as that'll last.
Yeah, no kidding. And of course, there's the Pit Barrel Classic. And I'm telling you something, you want to get your dad something that's cost effective that he will, once he learns to use it.
Which doesn't take long.
No, not at all. And what makes the Pit Barrel fun is it takes a little bit of skill, a little bit of fire management. So you get into that a little bit, but not a lot. And then the taste of the food, it'll blow you away. It'll just blow you away.
Definitely the best tasting. I'll tell you, chicken. We cooked tomahawks over it. And just all the things we've cooked on it. It'll. If you cook on one of those for a little while, you won't cook on the other ones you got. I'm telling you, Steve.
At Christmas time, buy you a 4-bone prime rib and hang it off of the one that grill's made to either you hang stuff off the 2 rods or the 3 rods that are on it, or you can cook them on the grate. Well, I've done them both ways. I've cooked them on the grate and it's delicious. But if you remove the grate and you cook them hanging over the fire, and that is, Pete, was that not the best prime rib we've ever made?
Fantastic. It was fantastic.
I mean, it's not good, folks. I mean, there's good food. There's good food, and I've made good food on pellet cookers, on offsets, but this taste of this cooking, I call it the North Carolina method, because that's what it is. You're cooking over direct heat, just a little bit farther away than you would be when you're grilling it. The food finishes faster, and the taste and the outside of the food is caramelized. It gets a nice, I'm not going to say crispy, but a Mylar reaction on it. I think they call that, Pete. And you can cook that thing to, you can
perfection,
130, 135 degrees, and take it off and let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes. And I'll tell you, folks, it's the best. It's the best prime rib I've ever had.
It's really scary the first time you cook on it, because you're going to think when you're hanging, I'm going to burn everything I put on here up. It's going to burn up. I'm going to waste. I'm going to ruin all this. But it don't happen.
No, it doesn't happen. If you just trust it.
You got to trust it.
I know it's got to earn your trust. It's like everything else. But once you learn to use it and you learn to trust it and put that top on it and don't look and don't worry about it, you will be on your way to some great, great food. Joining us, Mike Lowry, our favorite cook man, is with us. Mike, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. Billy starts us out. Billy says the Napoleon is awesome. Yes, it is, Billy. Billy is the owner of a Napoleon. You should be too. You ought to be honest. If you're thinking about it, if you want a cheap grill, you're just getting started, you can offset these things. You can build 2-zone fires on them. They're fantastic. They make all kinds of accessories. Brent joining in says, I've often tried Blues Hog, raspberry chipotle, barbecue sauce on hot dogs. I can see that.
I've never thought about that though.
We get a lot of people that want barbecue sauce on their dogs.
Yeah, but not. I mean, that's the raspberry chipotle, man. I love that. I just never thought about putting it on a hot dog.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
The Napoleon Grill is a soulless grill. Soulless grill.
Go down to the next one.
Solid. The solid grill. Yes, you're right, George. Thanks for correcting me. That's you're right. Let's see. Perry checking in with a long one here. The Napoleon was actually fun to grill hot dogs on. Yeah, Perry did some hot dogs for us on the during the Memorial Day picnic we had. First time I fooled with it was then when the hot dog customers slowed down. I pumped up the vents down just a little, or I just bumped the vents down just a little. As soon as I needed to do some more, I just bumped them back up, and the temp came back up in minutes. You're right, Perry. Very responsive when you open and close the drafts. Very, very responsive. Sort of like a sort of like one of them Franklin barbecue pits. You know, that's I got something I can think of that's very responsive. Certainly like a gravity feeds that we use.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with.
Yeah.
Gravity feed does a lot like that.
Yeah. So those are just some of the things that, you know, if you're thinking about, you know, your dad and what you get him, and hey, if he already has a pellet cooker, man, you're in the right place. Here you go, right? All you backyard cookers, what does your life lack? Choices for your pellet cooker flavor, right? We've got them right here at Al's Nest Barbecue Supply. The best selection of pellets in the Chattanooga area. Just in Barbecuer's Delight, apple pellet, contest mix from Barbecuer's Delight, pecan, cherry, oak.
I'm the king around here, but don't call me no dirt. I'm the king around here. No know what you said. I'm the king around here, but don't call me no dirt. I'm the king around here. I felt good desire.
Pete, I have never had such a good selection of pellets as we do right now at the store.
I'll tell you what, I was glad when I saw you hold up that bag of contest blend. That contest blend to me, that's one of my very, very favorite blends that you sell.
Pecan and cherry is what it is.
It is fantastic.
It is. The smell is different. It puts a very subtle smokiness taste on your food. Combined with the cherry pellets, it will turn your meat will have more of a mahogany. If you're doing a pork butt, it'll have more of a mahogany color to it, and in a good way. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
the contest pellets. That's what most of the people that cook contests with pellets use, is a blend of pecan and cherry.
I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, you used to have that little metal storage building that you got out back. It was on the side of the building right there. And that thing was stuffed full of you carried a bunch of those back then, and those sold so well. I'm glad you got them back in and we're able to get them back in. Those things are great.
Well, we've got so many now that there wasn't enough room in that little building to store them anymore. We had to move them to the back under the canopy.
Yeah, pallets and pallets and pallets.
I mean, we got the pellets. David Roberts, Coldplay Barbecue, checking in with us. David, great job on that brisket. I don't know if you saw, Dave. I don't know if you saw this. We'll play it again for you. David's watching. That's his brisket. David's watching right now.
You see all the juice in there?
Yeah, no, that's look at that thing. Look how dark it is. Look at that bark. It's got a beautiful bark. And watch this. For you guys just joining us, Russ, Mike, and Bobby, watch this. Look at that. Look at that, man. You can be eating that this Saturday. All you got to do is put your order in or come by. We'll sell it to you. You don't have to order. We'll sell you a pound, a whole brisket, whatever you want. We're going to have it there this Saturday at Owl's Nest
You doing
Barbecue.
brisket
Supply.
sandwiches too?
Yeah. We're going to do pulled pork. You can buy pulled pork by the pound too. And you can buy that brisket just like that. Boy, I tell you what, David, you did a good job on that brisket, both of them. And he'll be making them again. And if we get enough orders in, by golly, I'll be making them here at my place too. So we don't mind. Cooking briskets is something that I don't mind doing whatsoever. And I know David doesn't.
Well, you got the right cooker for them too. I mean, when you can put them on and the way you do them, Steve, you got a really good setup for them. So, gravity feed smokers do briskets very well.
Yeah. Perry says, Pete, I agree with you on those pellets. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Perry's got a Green Mountain Grill. I don't know. I think Perry got his for Father's Day too. I tell you, folks, the Green Mountain Grill, it is without a doubt the overall of everything, of all the grills, gas, electric. The pellet grill is the most functional. You can smoke with it, Pete. You can grill with it. This thing, how many steaks have we done on that?
Oh, a lot.
I mean, you can grill anything on it. Tri-tips. It's great for doing tri-tips where you put it up on the second level and you smoke it. And then you finish it off. You bump your temperature up to about 450. Then you finish it off on the grill.
Steve, that grill, a lot of people probably don't realize that smoker that's sitting outside under the little canopy out there, that thing has probably been lit, fired up at a minimum 5 days a week for the 4 years I've been going down there. I mean, I've cooked on that thing, no telling how long, but I'm talking a minimum 5 days, but sometimes
We
6.
started carrying the Green Mountain Grill, I think, in 2020.
There you go.
And that was they threw in a demo for me. And we've had that out there since that long.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the one we have is called.
They didn't even call that. Yeah.
No, it's called the
Is it David Bowie? Daniel Boone.
Jim Bowie.
Jim Bowie.
Jim Bowie. And they changed the names. They used to be called Jim Bowie, Daniel Boone,
Yeah.
and Davy Crockett.
David Crockett.
And they had to change it though because they sell so many. They sold so many in Europe. Nobody in Europe knew who those people were. So, of course, who would?
Yeah.
Who would? Jeff Maxwell chiming in, make pizzas on the GMG as well. You're right. You can buy a pizza oven for it. And that is, without a doubt, the most fun times you can have with it is when you make a bunch of pizzas on that pizza grill.
Well, we've done that a few times.
Yeah. We sell pizza dough too. We sell the
Just got a new
sure did.
a
Yeah.
whole inventory.
And
over
we
there.
sell the peels as well. All the equipment you need to make a pizza, we've got it there at the store.
Steve, I just had to throw this in. When I was looking for a pellet smoker, I really did my homework, right? I looked at everything you could imagine, and I put them on basically a spreadsheet.
Mhm.
When I went through and looked at all the things that came with this, how it was built, quantity, quality, everything about it, you couldn't, I don't care. RecTech was nice, really nice, a little more expensive, but the little front table's $100 more. It comes on this grill.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you start looking at the accessories and the things that go with it and how well it's built, it was a no-brainer for me to get a Green Mountain Grill.
And I'm going to tell you something about the Green Mountain Grill, the people that make it. It's a family-owned business. They're not publicly held like a lot of these big, like Traeger, these other companies. It is a privately owned business. If your product is owned publicly, your number one priority in management is not to the customers, to the shareholders. So the number one priority on a Green Mountain Grill is to the customer because there are no shareholders. There's only one shareholder. That's Jason Baker and his family. And and they have over the years, Pete, they have shown time and time again, they take care of their customers.
You and I met the owner of Green Mountain Grill, the one that you get the stuff from in Nashville. You knew him before then, but I'll tell you, what a great individual, and some of the things that they're doing, and everything he said he would do, he did.
Yeah, Jason's a great guy, and the Green Mountain Grill is a great guy. So if you want to buy a grill that is owned by a family, sold by a family like me. It's family to family. And that's the best way I can tell you, Pete. It's
Yep.
family to family to family.
You're right.
Hey, let's check in real quick with some food pictures. We didn't have many food pictures, but the 3 that we do have were sent in by Chef Dow Lee, who's the executive chef over at Council Fire Country Club. And every year he borrows my big pig cooker. And one of these days, Pete, we're going to go over there and watch and see what he does. Here is some lamb that he's done on that big cooker. That is a 5-foot hog cooker is what he's cooking those on. Now, Pete, I don't know, what is that on top there, you think? Is that, what do you think, it's pork butt?
I can't really tell if it might be a whole.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's because those little lamb, those are really small. They're smaller than what you think.
Mhm.
Those lamb chops right there. But I'm not sure if that's a small brisket maybe, or if it's a bud. It's just, it looks different.
I don't know, but those little toothy looking lamb chops look good. And you're gonna like this. I'm not a salmon guy, but you are. Check that out.
Yeah. Cooking them on cedar planks.
Yeah, look at
Love that. I like to put a little rosemary. And so he's showing you what's underneath it on the one on the right.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then lemon. Now that's different because I usually, he may put it on top too. I put lemon on top of mine. And then as it's cooking, that lemon juice goes down in it.
Uh-huh. But that's a beautiful picture. I like that. Good photo, good photos. And that's
It's mussels in there is what I see, but I don't know.
yeah, that's
Peas.
somebody somebody on Facebook said what that was, and it sounded pretty snooty. But I mean, it's not a taco salad or anything like that. It's not some
So I can't
it's
really
not
tell
bar
what else is
nachos.
in there,
well,
mixed
there's
in it.
mussels.
Yeah.
The green, it looks like a bunch of green peas. Is that cheese, you think? Man,
So
I think I see an
wondering if
onion.
That's green onions that are cut up, those little circles around. What
Those
is
are
that?
peas. Those are peas.
Not the green peas.
Oh.
The little white looking.
Those are onions.
That's why I said the little onions, but they're green onions cut up.
But looks good. Chef Dow, you did a great job as usual. Chef used to be the executive chef over here at the golf club.
Yeah.
He was there a long time. Good guy. Pete, that's all I've got. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Pete, happy
Absolutely.
Father's Day to you. Thanks to you, to everything you do for us. Now you're going to go to Michigan for a few days, and then you'll be back after.
Headed to Michigan for 2 days, and then I'll leave there to Canada, and then I'll be gone 2 weeks
Mhm.
total.
Well, safe travels to you, everybody. Thanks for everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for listening. And don't forget, if you want to listen to the show in podcast form, go to Spotify and look up Owl's Nest Barbecue Show with Steve Ray. And it will be, George says it's paella. George would know.
Yeah.
So that is paella. Thank you, George. I appreciate that. If you want to hear it on Spotify, it's there. If you want to go watch it again on YouTube, please go there and subscribe. We've had a great turnout in the subscriptions on YouTube. We want to keep it up. So we appreciate everybody. Come and see us this week. Remember, hot dogs from 11 until 2 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. On Friday, it's pulled pork and hot dogs, 11 until 2. And on Saturday, it's brisket, pulled pork, and hot dogs from 11 until 2 on Saturday. Now, this Saturday is going to be from 10 until 2 if you want to come and pick up your brisket. If you want to order some brisket, just get a hold of me. Go to my Facebook page. You'll see my phone numbers there, or you can just put it in the replies on the comments, and I will pick them up, and I will make sure that you have brisket reserved. And we'll be back here next Monday night without Pete, I don't think, right?
Won't be here.
Without Pete, but we'll be here to tell you all about what a fun time we had this coming weekend. Happy Father's Day to all you guys out there. I wish you well, and thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.